All right, you guys asked for this on Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube comments, via carrier pigeon, and of course smoke signals. Here it is, the Conor Khabib press conference breakdown.
Yes!
Some of you thought that Conor got to Khabib, some of you thought that he didn't, but almost no one seemed to think that Khabib got in Conor's head, and I agree. So we're going to stick to analyzing how effective Conor was in executing his pre-fight game plan. And though he may sometimes look outlandish and crazy, Conor is very logical about pursuing his two main goals. He wants to make more money, and he wants to anger his opponent enough to disrupt their fight plan, and of course have some fun while doing it.
Why you come here? But 6 October, 6 October, what you gonna do? This is not stomping on your head.
So first and foremost, the money. McGregor already holds 4 of the 5 best-selling pay-per-view slots in UFC history. After this Khabib fight, he's likely to hold 5 of 5 and to reset the record, as this is trending towards nearly 2 million pay. It's because all of this drama garners attention. After all, you are watching this video and not one on Stipe Miocic, who can't even get a rematch despite a record-setting number of title defenses in the heavyweight division. But this time, Conor went beyond drama to other avenues of earning money for himself, selling his own brand of whiskey.
Proper 12! Proper Irish whiskey from a proper Irish... That's what I'm talking about. I came here to have a buzz with this.
And hyping his partnership with the UFC.
Las Vegas, Nevada, the T-Mobile Arena, live on pay-per-view. UFC 229 in association with McGregor Sports and Entertainment and Proper 12 Irish whiskey.
So in terms of making money, despite the fact that Khabib has historically not carried the trash-talking, ticket-selling phase by himself, I would say that Conor was hugely successful in that goal. It's Conor's second goal where things get interesting. Because if Conor can upset his opponent, he can take them out of their best performance, which he has done many times in the past. He angered Dustin Poirier, getting him to be more focused on smashing Conor than on sticking to a smart game plan.
A lot of times I would find myself like being angry at him or thinking about him. I'm not fighting him who he is. I'm fighting his style of fighting and what he does in the cage. So you're not fighting, all the talk and all that stuff. It'd be a different show if I could do it again.
After a long press tour, he got Jose Aldo so worked up that he came out stiff and frustrated. Which was exactly what Conor predicted and capitalized on.
I owe him inside one. If he makes that walk and if he is in the octagon, I feel every single movement I make will get an overreaction off of him because he's emotionally invested in it. There's too much in it for him. The whole country of Brazil, it's all piling on him. That's what I see the fight playing now. I feel him overreacting, overextending, and then being KO'd on Conor.
The plan and stick to the plan. I think I paid for it. So,
what was the plan that you wanted to stick to?
I think it was more to kick and wrestle, not to box so much, not to throw so many hands. Kind of got lulled a bit into his game and paid for it.
Now, it's important to recognize that all of these men had different emotional triggers. Poirier seemed to lose some confidence when Conor spoke about past fights where Poirier was wobbled. Aldo seemed to get most upset when Conor said that he was the king of Brazil, and Alvarez took offense to Conor saying that he was only a mediocre striker. Now, Conor did not have the benefit of interacting much with Khabib prior to this conference, except for that whole issue with the dolly, but in 30 minutes, Conor wisely hit as many points as he could, almost like he was taking a shotgun to Khabib's mental armor and seeing where he broke through.
The man was a fanboy. He bought t-shirts of mine. He fucking supported the cause. You remember that? You little fanboy. Over on his neck of the woods, a man involved in something who's now in prison. But Vladimir Putin locked him up for embezzling 150 million worth of money from the Russian people. Started to invest and pump money into his gym. So he started to grow in power. He's a glass jaw. The Chechens, my Chechen friends, the Vainaki soldiers, they told me that they have chicken jaws in Dagestan. And I believe them because I know a glass jaw when I see one. And I've seen this man wobble many times. I've seen his brother sparked unconscious in another promotion. I know he is afraid of a smack. When I call this man a coward, when I called his father a quivering coward.
Which Chechen?
But you actually fight like a little shitty jokes rat. Anyway, you dive for the legs and hold on to them for dear life. What kind of fighting is that? What kind of way of fighting is that?
Unfortunately for Conor, most of the time Khabib engaged just a little or sat there unfazed, smiling on occasion, and it's possibly the case that the language barrier was helpful to Khabib in this scenario. And while Khabib did cover his face, which can sometimes be an indicator that he was trying to hide something, potentially fear, he was like that from the very onset of the press conference, and since he didn't deviate much from his baseline, I'm not reading too much into that. The only topic that seemed to get Khabib genuinely heated was when Conor insulted his past behavior, specifically how Khabib handled the confrontation with Artem Lobov.
Me going over
No,
and
okay,
seeing
you
an
talk
Irish
with
man
him.
going
You
about
talk
his
with
work,
him.
and
You talk
going
with
over
him.
and seeing an Irish man over in England, let's say, and me with, yeah, what are you talking about
No,
with
no.
numbers?
Okay,
You were
okay.
surrounded by about 40 of your
Okay,
teammtes,
I have-
many of them hooded. Many of them had their
No one
hoods up.
touch him.
They had to be chased
You
out of
can
the hotel.
ask him. You can ask
Yeah,
him.
right,
Why you
right,
don't
mate,
ask him?
right, mate,
Okay,
right,
why you
right,
don't
right,
ask him?
right.
Now, if Conor had a longer press tour, I think you would see him continue to harp on this point, insulting the way that Khabib handled the Artem situation, calling him a coward for costing Artem in a long group, telling him that he didn't handle his business like a man, which seems to be something that Khabib really values. But this press conference was only 30 minutes, and once they navigated away from that point, Khabib was much more able to maintain his composure. Now, the stare down was Khabib and Conor both doing what they do best. Conor chirped Khabib, and Khabib stayed cool, calm, and collected. Yes, there was a slight sway from Khabib as Conor invaded his space, which was a fairly normal reaction to someone getting that close, but Khabib ultimately held his ground and made comfortable eye contact the whole time. And while I don't totally buy that Khabib feels nothing about Conor, my read is that Conor was ultimately unsuccessful in his attempts to get under Khabib's skin, disrupt his game plan, or sow doubt in his mind that he would win this fight. And I say that because of the way Khabib mostly maintained his low-reaction, relaxed baseline to Conor's verbal onslaught. Now, if a louder fighter like Nate Diaz came in with the same behavior, it'd be worrying, but both fighters in this case maintained their own frame well. I will say that after watching several of both of these guys' fights and the analysis about their actual fighting, I am going to put my money on Mystic Mac. I think he's got enough KO power to finish Khabib, but this isn't based on any advantage that was gained during this trash-talking phase. That I put at a draw. So I know this video is short. We've also done another video on Conor's confidence, which I think will be very helpful for those of you wondering where Conor's borderline crazy sense of self-belief comes from, and I link to that below. One of the topics that I discuss in that video is the power of Conor's visualizations, though I didn't give you guys an actual concrete visualization to do in that video. If you are interested in something like that, in a visualization track, there are lots of different kinds out there, but some that I have been using and like quite a bit come from today's sponsor, Simple Habit. Simple Habit is an app that has tons of tracks for various types of guided meditations. I've mentioned some of my favorites for more joy and gratitude in your life in past videos, but there are also tracks for overcoming self-doubt that involve visualization. And if you want to check these out, you can see a few that I like for free on the app just by downloading it. And if you want to get more like I have chosen to do, you can unlock every single guided meditation they have for just $11.99 a month. So if you want to get a free trial of all the tracks or just check out some of the free ones, go ahead, click the link in the description below to do so. Just make sure to do it on your phone since this is a mobile app. Now, if you guys want more insight into this fight, I've linked as well to some other analysis of Conor and Khabib's fight styles, which are below in that description. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video because a lot of you asked for it, even though there wasn't a ton to say. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.